Hi everybody! On May 5th, 2024 at 10:52 a.m., NASA launched into American space a Starliner, a spacecraft carrying experienced 2 astronauts, Commander Barry E. Wilmore and pilot Sunita Williams, destined for the International Space Station. The spacecraft we'll call Starliner. Indeed, very interesting, because there wasn't much of airplane experience for Boeing at creating the spacecraft. Besides, lately, many of Boeing airplanes caught significant air crashes. It was named the Boeing Crew Flight Test, being the most important final critical test on the capabilities of the Starliner. Starliner made it to ISS the next day. 27 hours after launch, it docked successfully at 1:34 p.m. into the space. The astronauts on board then went over to the ISS after the spacecraft docked well. Sunita Williams in particular seemed glad to board that spacecraft. This docking became successful, and with that, Boeing became the second private company in the world to build and launch an orbital spacecraft for human after SpaceX. The Russians, Americans, and Chinese alone have been successful to this date in carrying humans to space. India is trying hard with its own Gaganyaan mission. The mission is scheduled to last 8 days in space, and if problems persist with Starliner, the astronauts would then be forced to stay here for longer than scheduled to get back to Earth, which is not something I'm worried about since I'm on the ISS. Everything one needs to lead life is available, in ample supply, including the essential food, water, air, and even private sleeping quarters, bathrooms, a gym, and a bay of 360-degree panoramic views. Now Barry and Sunita have already boarded Expedition 71, where they are conducting scientific research on board with other crew members like astronauts from NASA and Roscosmos. The projects include space botany, algae-based life support, and neurodegenerative disease research. With the experience already garnered, Barry and Sunita fit perfectly to add meaning to these endeavors. Problems with the Starliner started a little before launch with a leak in the helium, but the engineers considered it manageable. However, 4 more leaks occurred during the flight, and other thrusters problems with the spacecraft were encountered. Other thruster problems with the spacecraft presented a question regarding the safety of the crew at landing on Earth aboard the Starliner, as Commander Wilmore manually corrected the spacecraft to make a successful docking. Finally, NASA opted to return them aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon on the next mission to the ISS in early 2025. It's 2011 when the commercial crew program takes off by NASA, but private companies were set to collaborate towards the goal set with Boeing and SpaceX winning out in 2014. And then, in 2020, SpaceX was able to launch a commercially successful Crew Dragon, with many saying that while Journey wasn't without its flaws, by Boeing's Starliner spacecraft is still far from overcoming certain failures it encountered during test and crewed flights. The first Starliner mission in 2019 failed to dock at the ISS due to some mistake in timing and nearly took back almost 80 recommended improvements. Another successful but troubled uncrewed flight was in 2022 with problems in thrusters. Boeing is not alone in the problem, though. Its 737 MAX aircraft had killed hundreds of people in 2 separate fatal crashes over problems with its software, bringing Boeing into the international spotlight over the safety protocols at the company. Although initially grounded, the 737 MAX was recertified in 2020 after much scrutiny. However, technical issues continue to plague Boeing, which raises questions about the overall quality assurance of Boeing in both its aerospace and aviation divisions. The safety concerns underscore the importance of strict standards and robust testing in aerospace and aviation, with accountability and improvement in mission-critical systems. Thanks for watching and traveling with me on this journey for a mission.